Alright, welcome back to Decode Traders Hub. Yes, it's a beautiful morning, a rainy one, I believe, here in Kampala. Yeah, I believe you guys are those who are in Kampala. Hopefully the rain has not disrupted you. But yeah, it's a good morning. Yeah, we give God the glory for the rain. So as usual, we're going to start with a prayer and then get into the analysis and look at how to make this money today. Father, we give you praise. Thank you for this morning. Thank you for the beautiful rain. Thank you for yesterday's profits. Thank you that we're back here to analyze, to get good insights, to get signals, to get even profits from out of this market. We give you praise, Lord, for today's profits. We know that you're giving us even more profits than what we made yesterday. All the made profits, we say thank you, oh God, for it. And now as we start today's session, be part of this, be the one to reveal to us the insights, the great market moves that we should be looking at. And oh God, be the one to let us know when to enter and when not to enter. For the glory of your name, we give you praise, we love you. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. Alright, so as usual, we start with Crash 500. So, Crash 500. Let's check it out. So yesterday we looked at Crash, and basically we were looking at price reacting back there and then getting us into sales once more. But the challenge is, anyways, it did the retest, it gave us that kind of retest, but didn't reach the level we wanted. So even after giving us that kind of retest, price kept on sort of consolidating. It was not having enough momentum. You can see it consolidated within that area. Yeah, it consolidated within that area and then later gave us that kind of breakout, which one can say it is like a change of character, and then pull back up there, then we should be getting back into sales. So for now, I want to delete these. So delete all that. And now this was never respected. It was respected later. We see that price respected this fair value gap right in there. That's the one it respected right there. So after respecting it, price went back up into buys. It has come now to respect this other one right here. Was it an order block or was it a fair value gap? Let's see. It was a fair value gap, so price has come there to respect that fair value gap right in there, and After that, price went back into buys. But now, if we go into detail, we know that this here is a continuation. This here gives us an indication or a signal for the continuation of the previous trend. This is a previous trend right there. So it tells us that price is gonna go all the way up there, all the way up there. Now, if I go to H4, that clearly matches with what I want on H4. But if I go to H1, looking at CCI, it tells me I need to sell. But if I go to M15, it also matches with what I have on H4. So there's nothing that I'm going to do right about now other than buys. I can't enter sales. I need to look for buys. And clearly, this is another confirmation of what we have already seen. This will be that kind of confirmation right there. Your first TP, retest, then entry. Now, can I enter here? I think I can. Yeah, I'm gonna enter here. I'm gonna enter here with 0.5. I'm gonna put my stop loss here. If it reacts back, it's gonna take me out. If it takes me out, I will again enter. I will again make another entry. But now I've locked in my buys, and this is your first TP right here. This is going to be your first TP. But then we also have this other TP right about there. Right about there. So you want to look for that and then call it a day. Will we reach that level? Let's wait and see if we will reach it. But my buy has locked in. The next H4 may give us some retest, it may not. We are not market movers, we are market followers. So as of now, I've locked in my buys. And I've put my stop loss here, but we can actually put it below this H1 candle, and that will give us a loss of what you'll be looking at, a loss of about $4-5 when you put it all the way down there. And you aim at 5, so you're looking at a ratio of you aim at 20, so you're looking at a ratio of 1 to 4. Yeah, you're looking at a ratio of 1 to 4 plus. Yeah, risk to reward ratio. So that's how I've made the entry. Will now be looking for I'll be now going to boom 1,000. We look at it, there's no waiting there. Boom 1,000. Boom 1,000. Yeah, good morning, Helen. I see you saying good morning, trader. Good morning, everyone. Everyone else is online and watching us currently live. Can you guys please let me know if there is any disturbance with the sound? If the sound is not clear enough, let me know so that I can work on it immediately. So boom 1,000. This was a tricky one. The structure changed. Yesterday we anticipated pullback here, then we get into buys. Yeah, we get into buys, but that never happened. Actually, price went all over, broke. It did not respect that. It went all the way down, all the way back to that support, level. So remember that support is a weekly, I think, support level. Yep, yeah, that is an order block on the weekly time frame. So if I go to daily, actually looking at what we haven't even touched the weekly. So it tells me that we are likely to continue selling because we haven't touched the weekly yet. The weekly is this. We haven't touched it. We are somehow on the H4 support. We are on the H4 support. So price, looking at what you have on your screen currently on H1, you clearly see that the rejection to the buys is very strong right there. That rejection, that price rejection to the buys or to the bulls is very strong. So we can't do anything from here. So let's first delete these, delete that, delete. So this gave us that, and now we are seeing price failing to get back into the bulls. And looking at what we've just seen, there's a lot of price rejection right there. So if I go to M15, I now know that we are likely not to see any buys. We are likely not to see any buys. Just like I've shown you on weekly time frame, price is still hasn't touched the weekly order block. So meaning there is momentum. We still have momentum for the sellers to push price all the way down below. So now that I've seen something like this is a pennant, tells me that I won't be anticipating this, and I can easily delete that. I wanted price to react there and then we get into buys, but seeing the reaction down there, I don't see us getting that. So I want to now go to H1. Yeah, that is a pennant. It means it will break going down, and this will be our target right about there. This will be our target. This will be our target right about there. And that means it will have gone into the weekly order block, which will be our support level for the weekly. Alright, so now that we know this, can we actually take advantage of it? H4 needs buys, H1 needs buys, M15 needs sells. M15 is not yet ready for the buys, it still needs sells. So can we make an entry where we are? Not really, but I see something significant right around there. So we can wait for another pullback and we look for some sells on M5. We can wait for some pullback and then we get into some sells right about here. Yeah, right about there. Go back to M15. M15. Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'll be looking for. So until M15 is oversold, we cannot look for buys right where we are currently. So we need buys to come also on M15, then we can M15 and M30, then we can look for buys for the longer period of time. So from there, that's where we can start to anticipate buys to take us all the way up. So are we ready for the sales? Yes, let's wait for this pullback. Let's wait for that kind of a pullback on M5 or on M15. Then we get into sales. I want to first confirm with my Bollinger just a little bit. Yeah. So the next hour is likely to be a retest hour. So we should be anticipating some sells around midday. Yeah, so the next hour is likely to be a retest hour, a retest hour, then we get into sales around midday or 1 p.m. We'll be waiting and seeing what happens. So enough of that, let's now wait for what comes around. Boom 500. So boom 500, what happened? So H4, okay, this is H4. We've been wanting buys from this level since God knows when. Was it Friday, Saturday? Yeah, I showed you yesterday how it took my money on Sunday when it had already given me that money. So yeah, so right about now, yesterday we were looking for a pullback here, then we can get into buys. Yeah, pullback here, then we get into buys. So this was not actually it is the one that has been respected. So what is that? Let's go to M15, drag the chart around here. So clearly this level right there, that order block, it's what price has reacted back to. But then we also have this other one. We also have that other one. So I want to delete. Let's go back to MH1, H4. Yeah, just delete this order block now for the H4. Now go back to H1. There's a fair value gap right in there, so this is a fair value gap on H1. That's a fair value gap on H1. So will price react to this fair value gap on H1 or to that M15 order block? It has already reacted on the M15 order block, but is it going to only stay there and continue from there? So let's delete this now. That has been reacted to, and now looking at M15, price is likely to give us this again. Is likely to give us that. It's likely. So for me, I won't be looking for any buys right here. This is still a no-go for me. I won't be looking for any buys yet. I will rather just wait and probably come in with sales, or even wait for the buys right about here on this level. So for now, this is going to be a no-go for me. All right, this is what we need. Pull back right here. Then we come in with buys. That's what we need. Price is above our 10 MA on H1. But even though it is above our 10 MA on H1, we are not yet oversold on CCI. Looking at what we have here, we have about 7 minutes for this H. We have about 7 minutes for this H4 candle to close. Now these 7 minutes, they are going to be significant. Yeah, we are likely not, looking at what I have on H4, we are likely not to see this pullback. Let's wait and see. Maybe if it comes and it is just a week from what I have here, it will be now signaling us we have price rejection to the sells. We need buys right here. So now that I see something like this, price rejection coming from the bears, yeah, so I literally won't be looking for much of sells. I need buys. So if the next H4 candle starts as sales and goes all the way here, the better. Then we can enter here, knowing that when it reaches this level, we're going to see spikes only to get us back there, because we've already seen on H4 we have those two previous H4 candles, this current candle and the previous H4 candle. They are all showing us price rejection down here on that very support level. So what do? We know buys are coming in, but we are not ready to enter them where we are, unless if you have a big account and you can afford to put your stop loss all the way down below here, but if you can't, and if you can't even put it just here below here, then you rather wait a little bit for like another 4 hours. So probably around 3 p.m. we could be knowing the clear direction of where this asset is going to push us, or no, not even the clear direction, to get a clear entry, So for now we have no business with this. Let me first see what this is telling me here. You can see we are sort of in a consolidation right there, so that's why I'm gonna be waiting for the next H4, which is going to start in 5 minutes. All right, let's now head over to V25 oneness. Vol 25 oneness. What happened? So Vol 25 oneness, we did a pullback there, then we continue with sales, but look at that. So the whole of after we had analyzed, price failed to move with enough momentum, so it had low momentum all through the day till up to now, even still having low momentum. You can see what it is doing, so clearly you will understand that price has been within a channel. It's been moving within a channel right there, and we know this, that it is going to actually continue all the way to this level. How can we tell that? It has to continue, it has to give us a continuation of the previous trend, and clearly this will be the continuation right here. So in as much as M15 is showing us that we are oversold, we should look for buys. This right here clearly shows us we need to look for sales. We need to actually continue with sales. We need to look for sales. I see Jimmy is asking for which currency pair. No, please. These are not currencies. These are synthetic indices. Yeah, we deal with synthetic indices. You can only trade these synthetic indices with a broker called deriv. If you want a link, you can check in the description of this stream. You'll be able to see a link where I'm saying the broker that I use, and you can be able to trade these alongside even currency pairs, alongside forex. So yeah, so these are synthetic indices, not currency pairs. All right, so now right about here I can easily go to M5 and clearly see that I need to sell right here according to M5. So can we scalp this? I think we can. Looking at M5, price has reacted all the way back there, but it is not yet below a 10 MA. If I go to M1, yeah, I need to wait a little bit more, so we can take advantage of this asset within this range, this price range, as it comes all the way back to this other trend line. All right, so for now I have no business with this. I'm not going to trade it now. I'm just going to give it a little bit more of time and see if before we finish today's session, if we can actually scalp it to take us all the way down to this other trend line, or even to reach this other OB, support level, or to take us even all the way down here. Remember, according to H1 we need sales. That's the thing. And according to H4 we touch that trend line, meaning we need to be pushing price to reach this other trend line. That's why we are actually focusing on sales, continuation of sales. So looking at this, but I have to remind you that this is sort of like a pennant according to daily time frame, which means we must be looking for a breakout to continue with buys according to the daily time frame. But then looking at H4 is the one that has actually finished reacting on this level, which can easily be our fib retracement level right there. Fib retracement level. So don't be surprised if you see buys here. Another H4 has started, so don't be surprised if you see buys start from here to actually even break out and continue with the buys, because this is seen as a pennant on a daily time frame. But alright, this was a fair value gap in between here according to H4, so delete this. Let's first clear this chart a bit. We needed that, so we know it already. This was a channel according to M15, and now if I go back to H4, this was a fair value gap right here. So price has come to that level, which is actually matching with the fib. It is matching with the fib retracement level, and that means we should be anticipating buys to go and break out this level, this trend line right there, to take us all the way to the buys. So delete that, delete all this, delete all that. We have a resistance area right about there. We have this is on H1, is it? Yeah, it was a fair value gap on H1 right there. Oh no, it's on M15. It's a fair value gap on M15, so we can delete it. I don't need it. So go to M5. M5 we need sales, M15 we need buys, and H4 we need buys. So that's why you have to remember M15 and H4, they correspond together most of the time. So you want to follow mostly that, but you have to follow it when you have other supporting confluence. So for now we need buys on M15, but M5 is not yet ready, so it means it's going to try to sell. It may not reach all the way to this trend line, it may reach halfway. So you need to understand this. It may reach halfway and probably around that area on M5. So delete that. All right. So for now, I will wait for this level to be tested and see if I can have a sniper entry right in here, or if it is going to go all the way down below. So for now, we wait. H1 needs sales, H1 needs sales. M15, that was a fair value gap right here where price reacted from, right there. Okay, we have an order block here. H1, what else do we have? Not really, nothing much. H4, this level was tested, so if it was tested, went back there, so it is only going to be a support level. I don't see price coming back here. If I go to H4, this was a retest within a buy, so we need to actually now head back into buys. So if I go to daily time frame, daily time frame is not ready, so I have to look for buys. All right, so I'm not going to be anticipating any sales on this asset. I'll be actually looking for buys. I will wait for buys. All right, enough of V25S. Let's now head over to Volatility 20 V75. So right here, this sell, we are likely not to see it. This sell that we want, we need to wait for the buy entry. But how are we going to wait for that? This is H1. This would be the order block. On H1, and it is below our 10 MA. So if you enter here, you have to put your stop loss right below this order block. If you enter here, the buys. If we go to H4, price is still below our 10 MA. Yeah. Delete this. We are not ready. Let's wait. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I don't want to rush into this kind of buy, and then later I get into issues. So I can easily anticipate something like this, breakout, retest back to this OB, and then buys to take me up right about there on H1. But we can easily even see something like that, breakout all the way out from that level. So you need to understand that too. So can we enter here? Are you ready to risk all the way to this level? If you have enough money on your account, you can risk it, because I don't see price coming back all the way down here. Yeah, I don't see it. If you have enough money, you can make your entry right here and put your stop loss below this previous low. Yeah, right there. If you can't, then you can wait for price when it makes this pullback right here, because looking at price action or at SMC, you will see that this is a change of character right here on M15, and this here right here was a pullback, meaning we should be looking for an entry. So without any wastage of time, I'm going to make my buy entry, and I'll put my stop loss all the way here. That is going to be a big stop loss, but I'll first take my TP right about here. I'll first take my TP right about there, and then I will close and wait for a retest when it comes back here. That is what I will do. All right, So that is enough on V25S. Let's now head to V75. V75. So V75, let's look at what we wanted yesterday. So yesterday, it was within here, so we needed a pullback there when we come in with sales. So it went up there. That's when I realized it was within a channel or a flag. So I labeled it properly right there, but then it later gave us that, so which changed from a channel or flag to something like a falling wedge. So as we speak, it is still within a falling wedge, but we know falling wedges signify continuation. I mean, they can easily give you this is actually for the continuation here. They're not a reversal even. So we're going to see continuation of the previous trend, which is this move right there. We need to see a continuation of it to get us into that again. So for now, delete that, delete everything right here, delete everything right there. We need that, so that's what we need. So yesterday, we first made a buy here, but then I think that's when I told you guys to quickly. No, this was not the one. I quickly sold this. I don't know what happened. I don't remember what I had seen then. Yeah, you can see price kept on playing here, and then there again took me out. So it was a bit it was supposed to be. We were supposed not to enter this because of its low momentum that it had. So it reacted on this order block for several times until it gave us a fake breakout here. This is clearly a fake breakout, but H1 is not yet ready to start buys, even though we see M15 is ready. So what do we do? M15, H1. This we wait for some more time. We give it some more time. Yeah, we need buys, and the buys are going to start here, but it still have low momentum to actually make any trade right here. So I rather wait for when the buys start. Right here, we are waiting for the momentum of buys. We are not having it yet. So let's wait for that. Jump 50. Jump 50. So with jump 50, this is a trade that we made. We actually entered yesterday. Those who are on VIP platform for the signals, this is the only trade we took yesterday. I had a busy day yesterday, so I never even followed, but when I came back to check, even the market was not, I had not missed anything much. So this was a trade that we took. We needed that pullback and it gave it to us, and then we made an entry. Of course, I made that early entry, but those who waited, that was supposed to be the another entry, and I think that's the entry that I gave. I think I remember we must have entered this during the analysis. So that is a trade that we took. It was a bit slow, so I closed it after some good hours. I closed it around 6, I think. Yeah, I closed it around there at 6, and then it came all the way to hit the target that we had initially anticipated right there. So all this is not needed now. So congrats to those that made money on this. It's the only asset we traded yesterday. We took actually. So now we go back to H1 H1, we go to H4, price is above our 10 MA, but it is within this, so it is sort of having something like a limit or a range. You can see it is going to be like sort of in a range. Let's wait and see what it's going to be about. Let's wait and see what it's going to be about. So we see that, so it's going to head back up there, but we needed sales on H4 and we need a retracement on daily time frame, which is perfect. So it means H1 we need sales, but we are not yet ready to sell on H1. We have no way to sell this on H1, so that means we wait for the sales. But according to H1, we need now a retracement to get into sales, and then later buys, and then later sells. So if I go to M15 and H1, H4 sells, 15. Wait a minute, this is a fair value gap that has been grabbed right here. Right there. M15 needs buys, H1 needs buys, but then they are all on the retracement level. They are all on CCR retracement level. Yet on H4 I want sales. That tells me that sales are coming. All I need is to wait for price to be below my 10 MA. So I can go back here, bring my fib on M15, and this will give me that, this level right here. If I go to H1, that will be this kind of level, so price will give me this, and then will give me that, but then it will fail to break that level. Then it will take me to sales. It will take me to sales, or it will continue all the way up there. So these are two ways we can anticipate this move. So I want to delete this now and wait. Go to M15, wait. Let's go to M15 and wait. If I go to M5, of course sales are there, and of course even M1. So we wait. This, I'm not going to trade this for now until I have something that I can work with. Right now where it is, I cannot work with that. We've seen some price rejection from this fair value gap of H4. Yeah, we've seen some price reaction from that fair value gap. We know that price can easily be reversed from that fair value gap, but we are not yet ready to say that because price is still above our 10 MA on H4, meaning buys. So we can't just enter sales here. We need to wait for the confirmation. Jump 25. Jump 25, what we wanted retest back to this fair value gap and then get into buys. That was yesterday, but then it even broke that, came to this other order block. We had also marked that, so it came to that, then we had a reaction to go back into buys, but then came back stronger with sales and broke it and came to this other order block, and that's where we can now say buys are starting from. I believe so, but I need to have, so M15 I need buys. If H4 says I need buys, then I'm entering Yeah, I'm entering. This is jump 25. It's a heavy asset. Please trade it carefully. Trade it carefully. Trade it carefully. It is jump 25, so trade it carefully. Trade it carefully when you are trading it. All right, so that's what I've done there, and now I can now I can do what? Now I can delete this that was not respected, delete that, delete this that was never respected, then we can delete also this, and of course this is your first TP right there, this is your first TP right here. Your second TP is right above here, but can we see it today? You never know. So if you want to go for the second TP, you can go for the second TP. If you're good at holding, then you can still hold, knowing that price is gonna go all the way up there. All right, so that's it. That's enough for this. This is jump 25. We need price to get right up there, but it has to even break through and continue. So that is it on jump 25. We have locked in our buys. We have locked in our buys. Of course, we have several reasons why we are looking for buys. According to daily time frame, we needed buys because of that. Price has reacted to that fair value gap, and we were already looking for buys all the way even on the weekly. Why? Because of the continuation of the buys right here. So, and that's what we are looking for. So for now, that's why we are locking in our buys from all the way here. We've been waiting for that level. That's why we have in our buys now. All right, lastly, or second last, because we added gold, so second last, let's look at jump 10. Jump 10, then we look at gold, then we call it a day. So jump 10, what happened? Yes, yesterday, okay, come to M15, drag it here. So yesterday we were here when we realized price is actually going to come down again. So and this was a fair value gap we had already marked, so I quickly told us we can enter sales here, but then this was some reaction. We had a reaction here. I told you we closed immediately because I had seen the price is likely going to go up again. So we closed immediately, and then price came, retested the entry, and then got into sales again. So that sale, those who had not closed, you should have gotten some money all the way to this level. But then after, the buy came back because price was reacting within the range there. As usual, we know that we've traded some of those. So went back to the upper trend line and then started to consolidate a bit until it came back to this other trend line down below, gave a fake breakout, went back into the buys. So what do we do here? Delete all that, come to H1 and H4. So price has come back to that other trend line on the H4 and daily time frame, and it has given us sort of like a change of character, or one can say a double bottom, and then it has reacted according to H4. It has reacted to this order block. It has reacted to that order block, and then the buy started from there. The current candle has started as a sell, as you can see. The H4 candle, it has started as a sell, so we are likely to see it as a sell, but this sell is likely to come all the way back to this other order block, back to that other order block. So I want to delete that, and I want to maintain this. Why? Because this is the order block where we've seen the momentum of this buy right here. So price is likely to come for this, and then we get into the buy that we need. The buy that we need right about there. So what do we do now? Go back to M15. Do we have an entry for sales? Yeah, I think we just need a confirmation on M15 to enter, and that will be the reversal signal on M5. M15, this was like a break of structure right here, so that means we need a pullback to give us a go ahead into the sales. So we will wait for the pullback, then we enter sales right about there, probably, yeah, right about there, and then we can come in with this kind of a sell right here, right there. That's what I will be anticipating for now. So I will leave it at M5 and then get into gold, then we call it a day. All right, so what happened to gold? Gold. So yesterday, those who remember, I had already shown you that this was like the accumulation, then the mitigation, and then distribution is what we needed. But we had these two levels, this fair value gap and that order block. So price went all the way to that order block and then distributed later to reach all the way back to this level right here, and then went back into buys, and then later again distributed all the way from all the way there to the sells. So we knew that sells is what we needed, but like I told you yesterday, I was busy, so I never made any entries on gold at all. So I can easily now delete everything right up there, delete everything here. Now I have a change of character. If I go to H1, that is a change of character right about here. Yeah, so delete that, and it has broken structure. It has broken structure on H1. We are now oversold. Even H4 we are oversold. It has gone all the way to this level that we wanted all along. So now I can delete it. I have it already, and I can delete even these ones, even this now, to clear the chart. Yeah, so it has come back to this. Now we see on H4 we are oversold. On the daily time frame, however, we just need just a pullback. We just need a pullback probably to that fair value gap. That is an imbalance that was left back, and then we can get into sales again according to the daily time frame. So for now, I want to go back to H4 and look at H4 closely. H4 and H1, both of them are oversold, meaning we need just to wait for the buys. So that anytime from now on gold, we will be having a clear confirmation of buys. But of course, those who trade M5, you already have something that you can work with. I don't trade M5, I trade M15 and MH1 when I'm dealing with gold. So that is a channel already that you can see. It clearly tells you that it's going to keep like that until it reaches a certain level. Probably this breaker broke right about there. It has even reached it, so it can easily go back down here. It can easily go back down there to reach this other level. So all we need is to just wait. So you know the general trend that you should be focusing on gold from today and probably the whole of this week. You should be focusing on buys. That will be your general trend that you should be looking for, because we will be seeing a reversal signal right about here, right about within this area, to take us into buys. But you need to wait for it. You need to wait for the reversal signal. So, but on M5, you can see we've been in a channel, so it's gonna go break down, come here, and then the buys, you can enter it for M15 and probably buys on M15 to take you right about there, then again come down like that until H4 gets into the buy. So for now, no business with this. You can wait on M15 to make your entries right about here when it fails to break this previous low. That's what you can do. All right, let's do the recap and we call it a day. Let's do the recap and we call it a day. That has been gold. Sorry, I forgot to change the name, but that has been gold. All right, so we started with crash 500 and I made the entry right there of buys, so we are in profits even as much we've seen that pullback, but we are in profits. A new H4 has started, so yeah, we are in profits there. And this, we are waiting for it to reach here, but like I said, it's likely. Oh, we needed a pullback here on M5. We never saw it. Yeah, and I remember telling us some time back that most of the times when it does something like this on booms, it doesn't normally retest to give us an entry. So that is what we are seeing currently. It didn't retest at all on M5. It actually continued selling. But as we are speaking here, we've seen now price react right about there. So we can change this to here, and then we can wait and see if we will be able to have the sell to push us all the way here, to push us all the way there, down below here, because we know that's what's coming. All right, so enough of that. Let's even delete that. Let's now get to boom 500. Boom 500, we need a pullback here, but I said we may not actually see it. Why? Because we have price rejection on H4 right here from that level, so we are likely not to see price come back to that level. But we'll wait and see what happens. Some weird resistance right here that price is reacting to, so just have to know it. So delete this for now and just maintain that resistance up here. This one right here is no longer needed. Delete it. And now that is what is happening. We have rejection here and we have some rejection there also. so we are not ready to make any entries on boom 500. If I go to V25, V25, we made an entry for the buys and the new H4 has started, so we are looking for short buys to reach there, then probably a pullback to bring us back here to make another entry, then we get into buys again. So we are also in some small profits there. It's just starting. V75, it has no momentum, but we know we need buys. We have to look for buys here, so we have no business with it currently. We have to wait. We have to wait. Jump 50, we need a pullback here, then we can enter buys and then sell it here or sell it all the way up there. But according to H4, we should be looking for sales around this level here, so we have to wait also. We have to wait. Jump 25, I've made entries. I've made a buy entry, but it was a bit too early. Yeah, it was a bit too early. We can wait. We can have another entry when it goes all the way back to this level. Yeah, but as of now, we are in some floating losses as we speak. Yeah, as we speak. Then jump 10, we need a pullback there, then we can enter sales. We need a pullback there, then we can enter sales. So until then, we have no business with it, but this is likely to give us some money today right here, so you can also focus on it. Then lastly was gold. I've said all you can do is focus on buys, but of course if you're a scalper, you can also wait for this kind of a sell to reach back all the way to this level. So that is it, and that's it for today. I want to wish you guys a good trading day. Hope you had a great time. Please trade responsibly, trade knowing that trading is a risk. If you don't use stop losses or if you don't use proper risk management, all your capital is at a risk to be lost, because trading won't ask you questions whether you want to lose the whole of it or you want to hold back. It is you to put all those parameters to guard your capital. So trade knowing that you cannot afford to lose your money on the account. Otherwise, let me wish you guys a good day. See you tomorrow same time. Today is a Tuesday, so it means we have a BTC analysis on at 1 p.m. At 1 p.m. exactly East African time. Those who love BTC, then you can come around. We analyze together BTC, and then as we look on to make money for the rest of the day. Have a good time. See you guys.